Alrighty, so I'll just jump right into the next brochure for the Counter Jihad Coalition.org, and it explains the growth and process of expanding Islam, or essentially taking over and pillaging other native areas. So, the way that they have this, I'm assuming the way that they print these out is it actually looks like a cute little, like, trifold brochure, and it doesn't read that way on a PDF, so forgive me for a second. So let's see. So, the references that they used was politicalislam.com, jihadwatch.org, MEMRI.org, that's Middle East Media Research Institute, thereligionofpeace.com, islam-watch.org, carryonproject.org. I actually have that specific website reference and link to the Migrant Pandemic Facebook page. Then there's the citizenwarrior.com, the globalmbwatch.com, and the frontpagemag.com. So this is convert, submit, or die. Violence is what grows Islam. There is nothing good in the Quran for unbelievers or kafis. Is there somebody knocking? I really... Hello? No. Okay, well, fucking hurry up. I'm doing a video. I thought it was on crack and I was hearing shit. Alright. So, where was I? So it's the convert, submit, or die. Violence is what grows Islam. There's nothing good in the Quran for unbelievers or kafis. The growth, and I already explained this in the previous video. There's the Mecca and the Medina. So it's like a two-step process. And actually, funny enough, it says Muhammad progressed for 13 years in the quote-unquote peaceful facade, and then completely went explosive full out into the Medina, which is divide and conquer and pillage and kill and everything. And destroy everything. Which 13 years is the span for Neptune, which I find interesting. And also, looking back at astrological syncretism and different historical events with invasions of the Muslim culture in general, they have a tendency to try to be ballsy when Uranus is in Aries, which is what we've been dealing with the Uranus-Pluto square, as well as all the unpredictable explosive kind of events. And I'm talking about volcanic eruptions, fires, gas leaks, explosions, bombs. The Uranus-Pluto square is actually the aspect that has been coined with creating the suicide bomber, and why that's a popular thing. And also, Uranus and Aries is just is what is making everybody irrational, irate, combative, and just go off on everyone, even on a very minimal, like, faction of subcultures. Like, white people on white people are pissed at white people for being white people, and black people are doing it now too. And even apparently feminists are pissed at other demographics that are sticking up for their rights, and I'm not even going to get into it. I'm starting to think that the Diagnostic Statistical Manual number 5 is actually legitimate. But anyway, I'm getting distracted here. So here's just some information on Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, and Jews. So the number of Christians martyred by Islam is 9 million, and that's the world reference from the World Christian Trends of AD 30 AD to 2200 in the William Carey Library in 2001. A rough estimate by Raphael Moore in History of Asia Minor is that another 50 million died in the war by jihad. So counting the million of African Christians killed in the 20th century, we have 60 million Christians in the 20th century. At least that's what it's insinuating. Then Hindus is the negotiatism. Negotiatism in India gives an estimate of 80 million Hindus killed in the total jihad against India. And that's referenced from the Voice of India, the New Delhi 2002. The country of India today is only half the size of the ancient India due to jihad. The mountains near India are called the Hindu Kush, meaning the funeral pyre of the Hindus. 80 million Hindus killed, slaughtered total. For Buddhists, do not keep up with the history of war. Keep in mind that in jihad only Christians and Jews were allowed to survive as dhimmis, basically servants to Islam. Everyone else had to convert or die. Jihad killed the Buddhists in Turkey, Afghanistan, along with the Silk Route, and in India. The total is roughly 10 million. And that was referenced from the World Christian Trends and the 10 million Buddhists from the William Carey Library in 2001. Jews, oddly enough, there were not enough Jews killed in the jihad to significantly affect the totals of the Great Annihilation. The jihad in Arabia was 100% effective, but the numbers were in the thousands, not millions. After that, the Jews submitted and became the dhimmis, the servants of the second-class citizens of Islam, and did not have a geographical political power. This gives an estimate of 270 million casualties that were of Jewish origin. And then here's some more info over here. So it says, the Quran divides people into two classes, believers and the non-believers, which is everybody else. And Islam divides the world into two categories, Dar al-Islam, Islamic countries, or Dar al-Harb, which is all other countries. There will be no peace until the entire world is Dar al-Islam. Muslims used to call themselves Mohammedans. This is because a good Muslim is supposed to pattern his life after Muhammad. History shows us that no culture could ever coexist with Islam for any length of time. Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, and the rest of the Middle East used to be Christian. The same with Egypt and North Africa. Afghanistan, Pakistan were Buddhist. Over 270 million people have been killed in jihad over 1,400 plus years, and it continues today. When Muhammad started his preaching, there was over 360 religions in Arabia. Upon his death, Islam was the only one left. Jihad is what brought success to Islam. Let me scroll down. Okay. A few facts on Islam. The doctrine of Islam is comprised of the Quran, Sirah, and Hadith. The Sirah is the biography of Muhammad, and the Hadith is his traditions. The Hadith is 21% jihad, Sirah is 67%. These seem to be different percentages than the last one. Jihad in the Quran devotes 64% how it treats kafirs. Every reference to kafirs is bigoted, hateful, and evil. Islam is 84% Muhammad and 16% Quran. Okay, that sounds more like the last one. Islam and Sharia go hand in hand, and you cannot have one without the other. Sharia is Islamic law. Islam is an ideology and not a religion. There is no multiculturalism in Islam. Some Muslims do not have the stomach for violence, so they give to charity. 1/8 of zakat goes to support terrorism. Women wearing hijabs is a symbol of Sharia compliance. Islam does not have a golden rule, as do all other religions. Seemed like that was a repeat of a lot of information from the previous one. So sorry if that's a repeat, if you're actually watching all of these, but that's the gist of that one. So this is supposed to apparently emphasize on how Islam spreads, but I think there's a better elaboration on this in a different brochure. I'll get to those soon enough.